Hi, welcome back to my channel. Since school starts this week, I decided to do something like back to school related. And I didn't want to do like a back to school outfit idea or anything like that. So instead, I decided to do my dorm essentials. I guess it's kind of like a clothing haul, but more like a dorm haul, like a doll. If you're new to university, I suggest these items to help spice up your dorm life. Let's just get into it. The first few items I want to discuss will help with your room atmosphere. What that means is kind of like a few items and things that you need to help make your living space more enjoyable. So I wanted to start with things that smell good. I feel like just having a place that really smells nice to you and like kind of helps you relax. You don't necessarily have to have these three things. I just apparently do, so you have more options to choose from. The first one is my diffuser. This is from Sage, and I really like it because it not only is the design really nice, but it is really enjoyable, and I kind of like how it like puffs up some steam and stuff like that. So basically you just put water in and you add drops of essential oil and you just click it on, and it kind of like has a setting where it can just like run for 3 hours. It makes me feel calm and like my place is just like a nice relaxing haven. If that sounds like too much work for you and you're more like on the lazy side, I suggest a room spray or a pillow spray. All you have to do is kind of just like spray around and it just like smells really nice. So that's like another way to simply make your room smell a lot nicer. Super easy to use. All you have to do is just spray. My last item for things that smell good is incense. I love incense. I think they really help me like focus and relax. I use that as well to make sure the room smells really nice, but it can be a little bit of a fire hazard, so I would just be careful about that. So that's kind of, I guess, like my last resort. My second thing to make the atmosphere of your room a little nicer and homey is fairy lights. I feel like everyone who is a college student has always had fairy lights. They're quite standard. Besides the fact that I really like them, I still feel like lighting is really important, and whenever you're feeling down or homesick, turning these lights on and setting like a mood just really helps you feel more calm and relaxed. So I highly suggest getting a nice pair of fairy lights to decorate your room. Another important thing to make your dorm room more homey is to add like personal touches. So whether it's like posters or in my case, my artwork. I think putting my artwork on the walls or even like pictures from my childhood kind of makes me feel more home, and like just having things that are familiar to me from like when I was growing up and like my family, like stuff like that. So whether if it's like posters, Polaroids, your own art, or even like personal letters, just putting them up on your wall kind of makes you feel more at home. So I highly suggest decorating your walls with like personal items. Aside from posters and pictures, I think it's also really important to decorate your room with flowers and plants. Just because your room is so small and sometimes you barely have a huge window or a lot of lighting, natural lighting. So just having some like nature in there makes it a little bit more bearable that you're in such a tiny space. So I think that like adding some flowers or even like plants, if real plants are intimidating, you can even try getting like a fake plant. So even something so small like this, just adding a touch of green to your dorm makes all the difference. You need some nature in there. The last thing that I found really helpful with making the atmosphere of your room nicer is pillows. I really enjoy having a bunch of like pillows on the top of my bed, but if you are a taller person, you can probably skip out on this just because it does take up quite a bit of space. But it just helps me feel like more roomy, and like I really like cuddling and just like hugging my pillows. If you have space, I highly recommend getting yourself a couple pillows. Moving on to kitchen items. Now this is kind of geared towards more of the first years going into university, just because you guys don't really get your own personal kitchen or bathroom. So in order to kind of beat the system so that you can try to make your own food, I got a slow cooker. I think it's called a slow cooker. Basically this just helps cook quinoa or rice, or you can even boil eggs. I mainly used it to cook quinoa, or I guess you could also use it to cook pasta if you want. This was such a lifesaver, especially because you don't want to get stuck eating kind of the same food at the dining hall. So I highly suggest getting yourself something like this. You can even probably cook your like cup noodles in here. Very, very helpful. I also suggest getting a kettle. I guess it's like self-explanatory. You can make tea, coffee, whatever you want. And if your stomach doesn't feel good, I usually like to put hot water into one of those pouches. So kettle is also good for that. I would also get a smoothie maker because I'm obsessed with smoothies. So it's also a nice like alternative to breakfast in the morning or a snack if you really like smoothies. I would also get a steamer in addition to the cooker, just because if you want your own vegetables, you can steam vegetables. You could also steam chicken in there. So if you saw some of my previous vlogs. Rice cooker steamer, and it comes with like a little pot, and then so you fill it with water, and then you put your food on top, and it steams. That's how it gets cooked. I've used those 2 items. So yeah, I had just those 4 items: a kettle, a cooker, steamer, and a smoothie maker, because dining room food can get a little old. Similar to the kitchen, you most likely won't have your own bathroom. So something like a shower caddy really helped. Right now I just use it to kind of just like organize my things, but it's really helpful because when you go take a shower, you want to have like all your shampoos and stuff with you. So this is like a convenient way to bring everything to the shower. And kind of like your caddy's best friend would be a bathrobe, just because you don't want to like walk around with a towel and everything. So a bathrobe is just more secure and also just more comfortable. And because you're sharing a shower with multiple other people, having your own pair of slippers is also quite essential, just because you don't want like all this bacteria and fungus all around. And it's just kind of like nice to slip on and then slip off. It's like an easy way to get around places and go to the shower and whatnot. Bathrobe, slippers, and shower caddy. 3 things that you need to survive sharing a bathroom with other people. And lastly, because you're in college now, you do have to take care of your space and clean it every once in a while. So I highly suggest these 3 items: a duster, Lysol wipes, and a mini vacuum. I really like this duster because it's super easy and it's detachable. So once this gets all nasty, you can just like replace it with a new one. It's super easy to get in between all the cracks and catch all those nasty dusts that piles up everywhere. I also like to use the Lysol wipes for when you're trying to clean, honestly clean anything on your counter, on your desk. It's also really nice to clean, and it's just like a good thing to have so you know that you're disinfecting everything. And lastly, I highly recommend this mini vacuum. It literally saved my life. This one's super easy. You can just like plug it in and charge it, and you have to empty it out every once in a while when it gets too full. And basically you just kind of turn it on and it just sucks up all the nasty stuff. So yeah, I highly recommend those cleaning items to make sure that your place is nice and tidy. So that's it for this week's video. I hope it was helpful, especially if you're moving into your dorm this week. Yeah, at least I found these items really helpful and really helped me get through the tough times of university. So I hope it does the same for you. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.